and unfortunately for Double Thriller, who's in the middle, sort of middle outer, I think, the yellow colours, is the first one to go. I've got Unseated Rider down on my list here, but I think that's a little bit strong. I think he actually, well, he definitely slides along on his stomach, whether he actually turns over or not, I'm not sure. But it's very important to jockeys. They don't like to be put down as Unseated Rider. Fell is acceptable. Where is he?
He's
there he
towards
goes
the
there.
outside, Skew, and he overjumped. He jumped it too well. You can see the skid marks in the grass.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't call that Unseated Rider. It would be very harsh.
You'd be very unfair if you did. But this is a danger of going to the first at this sort of speed. Although the field was nice, he'll be this side.
There
now,
he is,
there
coming
he goes.
now.
Huge jump.
Huge jump. And there he is. I mean, that's just a typical... You know, we saw those pictures of Oldeniti and those in your piece earlier on, and that's exactly the same as him over jumping and just turning. Now they're heading on towards the second. There's Cyborgo right up then.
General Wolfe is nearest to us under Storming Norman, and hugging the rail a little way back is, of course, Sunny Bay, the grey. But the third fence, where, OK, this is Cyborgo with the blinkers.
Yeah, this is the big ditch. Jockeys are very happy to get over this one because it means that they can know that the horses are capable and brave enough to jump the ditch. Here they go, you can see him. It's the width of these fences rather than the height that catches these horses out. It's Bell's Life, Sunny Bay going over. And there at the back, there's one standing off far too far, and now Double Thriller.
This is Coombe Hill here. That's the jockey eye view as they go to the ditch. You can't actually see the opening.
See the horse
until you're over
outside there, just ducking in left-handed. Castle Coin was trying to duck in. Here at the fourth fence, we lose Baronet in the middle of the picture yesterday.
He's one of the three greys, and he just didn't seem to have a lot of room there, Jamie.
No, there he goes, and huge disappointment for Richard Johnson.
Up front, it's for Scotland. It's Blue Charm. Lorcan Wire only got the ride late on, and he's setting a real nice pace here. It's sensible on this ground.
Yes, it is. You know that horse is going to keep going. The jockey's landing over this, all pleased to be over safely, and now their minds will be firmly set on Beechers.
Yeah, and Lorcan's had a ride of a lifetime on this horse. He's got into a great rhythm with him. I don't think he's missed a fence. And he's travelled along on the bridle beautifully all the way.
I'm afraid at Beechers, though, we have a couple of falls with Tamarindo and both Mudahim goes.
Yeah, I didn't see Tamarindo go. Mudahim goes at the back. I'm not sure where Tamarindo goes.
Just look to the left, though, Narthen Lads, almost on the floor there, and gets back up.
Terrific thing. There's Tamarindo on the inside at the back, and then Mudahim falls to the left of our picture. We don't see him. Let's see if we can see Narthen Lads go down in his... There's Tamarindo on the inside there, and bye-bye, that's
Mudahim.
Well, that's
yes.
Mudahim.
I'm afraid Brendan Powell went out the side door. He couldn't just keep it together like he did with Rhyme and Reason. Almost the same mistake.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
See Andrew Thornton's recovery there. It's a good one on the rail on Narthen Lad.
Mudahim out the back, no chance anyway. Here's Lorcan cantering back. No, absolutely. See the poetry in motion, these two.
Skew, there were some lovely shots while this was going on. Mark Bradbourne, who hurt his collarbone, of course, just a little while ago, 2 days ago, he was in tears watching this horse. Tears of joy and of what might have been.
Yeah, they're all streaming over this now and heading towards Canal Turn. You'll notice the angle that they come at. They're all cut back in here. Jockeys have to be aware that they don't get shut off from the inside. They're streaming up over this fence now. They've come right, now they're going to run back left. That's General Wolfe. Oh, he couldn't cut it any short.
Norman was the textbook stuff there, wasn't he?
And the horse put down in him a little bit, and that helps.
No, he's had the perfect shot to it. He's had the perfect. That's the way to ride.
Here we go.
But just watch from this angle. Well, he goes out of picture, but when he comes in, he made a length and a half there on that turn.
And that's through Poppin, and that's Camelot Knight just streaming over in last pace. Now, as we always say this, everybody's settled down now, got going now, you're comfortable, might even have a little bit of a chat. It's pretty clear now, all these horses are jumping well.
What a good shot of Lorcan. The horse ears pricked, Lorcan's looking between the horse's ears, hands down on his withers. He's trying to relax the horse, but get precision jumping.
Yeah, it really is a great thrill now for jockeys, and here. You know, the adrenaline's pumping, and you're really enjoying this. And even the horses, look at there, General Wolfe with his the eagerness and the bravery of the horse. That's what gets you. Look at Norman.
Feels like gold creeping into it in the green. That is Brian Harding's first ride in the race.
Yeah, he's given that a terrific ride. There's Sunny Bay streaming over. You deep, Tony McCoy just going out of shot there. There's the winner, Bobby Joe. Just a typical patient Carberry ride on the inside here. Norman still giving this a terrific ride here on the inside. There's Northern Lad with Andrew Thornton. Spinning the Fax is just behind Northern Lad, just jumping now. Sam Lee there.
Scoot, pick it up on the grey, old Sunny Bay half, but there's an awful lot of horses still there as they're funneling towards the narrowest part of the course. And Jamie, of course, you don't want loose horses around you. There are none in shot at the moment.
No, and you see Philip Hyde on the outside just getting into it on Brave Highlander, who's run a great race for an outsider. He was still there with a chance later on. He's had a great ride in the old Aniti colours.
It's fantastic to see all these horses bunched up together. I mean, like a cavalry charge, like a flat race, isn't it? With all these horses.
This is Cavaliero's ears just in front of us here.
Avro Anson on your outside there.
And just going right up the back of
that's pushing
almost unseated rider, wasn't it? Look, the reins have gone there.
Almost.
And the reins seem to be loose.
Because Cavaliero actually pulls up before the chair, so no reins, has to pull up. That's no steering, get out.
There's a good shot of seeing how little light you can get going to a fence there.
Wasn't it? I mean, he was almost on Camelot Knight's back at that stage.
Right, yeah.
And we saw Maudie calling a cab.
There's Lorcan heading towards the chair. Even I saw that stride, Lorcan. Superb jump there on the in the front there. And there's Cavaliero just at the bottom of your picture there. He's going up the running the first time round.
Well, it's a lot bigger from the takeoff. That gives you a good indication of how long a jump they need. What a trajectory. But they're well spread out. Cyborgo going through. And there's old Earth Summit. He's just tacked onto the back of the queue. The ground is two playing jockeys, aren't they?
Yeah, you can just see Paul Carberry creeping into it on the inner. Norman's horse, General Wolfe's just starting to feel the pace a little bit, and he's just having to get into the drive position. But all the time, Paul's just crept along, not getting into it too soon, always just jumping well. And you see on his inside, Sunny Bay, who's really finding the pace too hot now, and he's about to drop out.
We lose two around this time now. Commercial Artist is pulled up. Tom Jenks is cries enough, and Cyborgo and Conor O'Dwyer say that they've been far enough as well. So they're all safe and sound.
Still plenty of horses in for the action as they prepare themselves for this run. Very shortly, there was Cyborgo actually just losing touch, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. This fence, the second time round, doesn't usually hold the fears it does first time round when you're going so quickly. There is Cyborgo, as I say, he's pulled up around about there, and I think we might see Tom Jenks, and no, we don't. Cyborgo, Commercial Artist already pulled up. But Northern Lad looked to be going really well. He's really enjoying himself. He said he has two ways of running, but he's really found his best form here today. Philip Hyde and
Brave
Highlander has a terrific ride there, and seated last year, but making no mistakes this time. There's Brad here, Jamie. You said to me that poor old Sunny Bay's just finding the pace too hot now.
Yeah, and you can see from just behind him, Adrian getting into it on Addington Boy as well.
In case you don't recognise this, it's a reverse shot. I don't think the camera turned round. I think that's the way it was meant to be.
Jockey's going so well, he thought he'd have a look round behind him. See.
Fiddling the Fax has travelled well on this faster ground. She's laid up
I was
well.
getting very excited. I had a few quid on there. I thought I was going to get a few quid holiday money here, but it wasn't to be because she was going to get brought down at Beaches. But to be fair to her, she's jumped very, very well to this point.
Sad to see old Sunny Bay labouring on this ground, isn't he? He's just dropping back off those leading dozen, I would think. But the big ditch again, a ditch inspires them to actually stand off, doesn't it? And really take a big one.
Yeah, again, something I always say. I love the ditches around here. The board in front of them isn't too big. You can run a horse right up close to it and they go and jump well. When you've got to this point, most of the time now, you know, everything goes. The horses are balanced, jockeys are really enjoying it. You know, the nervous tension's gone.
Just look at the grey on the inside. Sunny Bay, Brad.
Yeah, he hits General Wolfe up the tail end. I think you saw Norman just having a look around, just seeing what's happening.
Addington Boy just behind him.
Very patient ride from Adrian Maguire. He really gave him a beautiful ride. Just crept into it, but just wasn't good enough to. There's Sam Lee on the outside there, Rodney Farrant just getting pushed along, looking for the stride. Again, I could say these fences people talk about, they're lovely to ride over because the jockeys come back on the horses come back on the hocks. You can really see a stride and let one fly at it. Now, here we come to Beeches for the second time. Again, you'll see the horses drift out a little way to the right. There's a path that runs across the track. You'll also see the hedge, just the path there. You can just see them crossing now, and you just want to just extend your horse down towards this drop fence. You want to get them to try and jump out over it. The one that didn't do it is Deep. You'll see him falling. He's coming to the jump it now under Tony McCoy. Picked up all right, and he's just brushed through the top. And unfortunately, there he goes. And he'll bring Camelot Knight to fall independently. But we'll lose Choisty. He was brought down, and Fiddle in the Fact, she was brought down, and a bit of a melee there.
Most amazing fact here is that both David Johnson's horses have fallen at Beecher's Brook. Tamarindo first time, Deep second time. And sad to report, I'm afraid, that Deep actually was put down. McCoy has been taken to hospital. We've no further news of him at the moment.
He just got in too close, really, didn't he? Couldn't get out.
Yeah, he just didn't do enough at it, did he? Just flicked through the top.
Well, now, at this stage, it's whittling itself down to about 10 horses. That's the serious bunch.
Yes, it is. And obviously, was watching Earth Summit. Earth Summit was lucky to escape that mess. He's sort of just jumping the fence now, Earth Summit, and that's really just he wouldn't have got into the race
totally
anyway,
ground for him, Stu,
yeah,
and also
that's not. He's just trying to creep into the race, but from then on, he's got no chance.
Let's see how the jockeys tackle this. They jumped it brilliantly, the canal turn, first time. Let's see the angle. They're going across. I think they're getting better at this, you know.
Well, they've been watching you, all those old black and white films of you going around, they know.
Well, no one went closer than Brad again. Look, even though he's back in 10th, he's made ground to keep back in the picture. This jumping has kept Sunny Bay there. See it from the other angle, and this will tell you just, even though they jump it well, how wide they do actually run. But look, Brad's gone the shortest
look at
way.
Addington Boy and Adrian Maguire. They've crept into the race there without doing a single thing.
Earth Summit just coming through.
Yeah, Earth Summit.
Doing his best. Well, the jocks are trying to conserve because they've seen the race change from here. Look at Blue Charm, prick his ears, Lorcan goes up the neck. Just imagine that he was thinking of retiring only a little while ago. Now he's won a race at the Cheltenham Festival and had the ride of his life here. I think he's only 22. He's kidding us about his age.
Yeah, he's even sat up the neck there, look at that.
Yeah, well, seeing a stride, the further away from the fence the jockey sees the stride, the better he is. And Lorcan saw a good one there. Go through the leaders now. We've got Blue Charm up front, but just coming through, the weakening grey. Up front, Lorcan takes a look round. He sees that Brave Highlander, in colours that have won this race, Alden Eaty a few years ago, and third, Northern Lad.
Just to see, we saw Bobby Joe crept into the corner there, and Paul Carby riding as confidently as ever. Look at him there, sat up right up the neck. Looks like more like a flat race jockey than a jump jockey. There's old Sunny Bay coming over, jumping there. Sam Lee just beginning to get tired, but
we haven't really given Woody enough credit for the ride. He's given Paul it a day as well. He's just creeping into it. We haven't really seen him yet. He's just been.
Those two riders, Adrian and Richard and Woody, gave their rides absolutely beautiful rides. I mean, they've saved every inch of ground and every bit of energy they can to creep into the race.
But there have been a lot of good rides here. Brian Harding on his first ride has given this horse Feels Like Gold a tremendous ride.
Yeah, he won't be able to wait till November. Hopefully you can get a ride in the Beeches Chase, because once you've been round here, you just want to do it again. Now we've got this long run now to the second last. Everybody, this is the tactics of the race coming into it now. Whereas Bobby Joe's, that's him third, isn't it, on the inside. In a minute we'll see.
He ends up having to switch, doesn't he? I think Adrian comes in on him a little bit on Addington
squeezes him up a little bit. We'll see. I mean,
Phillips pushed the pair of them in on Brave Highlander there, and then.
Yeah, and this is early on in the race you'll give a little bit of light and help, but from this point of view, there's no quarter asked, no quarter given, is it?
I'll tell you what we've got to look out for now, boys. Merry People, Garrett Potter's first ride in the race on the outside. Yeah. Now he goes here, but he does actually remount,
Yeah, he's run a terrific race for a long price horse, hasn't he?
He has, because he didn't have a great deal of form.
There is Paul. He's changed his tack there. He's just pulled wide there.
It just shows what a fine line it is between success and failure, because you see how close Paul was.
See Merry People go. Paul Carberry on Bobby Joe just behind him. Has to switch to miss him. And there you go, we're really getting serious. Woody, as you said, is creeping in now. He's in there with a big squeak.
Yeah, I thought from here Call It Day was sure to win. He's won a Whitbread over 3 mile 5. He's produced him to the front exactly the right time, and but it wasn't to be. There is though Bobby Joe, he's pulled him wide, Paul Carberry. He actually jumped right-handed there. It must be some great feeling from now on. And Lorcan, the nearly man there, just beginning to run on again on that Blue Charm. He must have felt at this point that he could get back up again, but once Paul Carberry's got to work on his mount, Bobby Joe, there's no stopping them. They gallop away to a faint.
We've seen horses stop up this run-in, but normally in heavier ground. When the ground's riding fast, of course, it doesn't sap their energy so much.
No, Paul just waited till he got to what we call the elbow, got onto the rails there and had another look round, and now he's going to go for the line. Lorcan, terrific ride in defeat there. Fantastic ride, always up there, as we say, driving the train for much of the...
About 5-6 lengths in front and drawing away. It's a great victory for Ireland as Bobby Joe, Paul Carberry, comes up to win the race for his father Tommy. It's Bobby Joe who gets the money by 10 lengths. Bobby Joe wins the Grand National.
Bobby Joe winning for Ireland at 10-1 by 10 lengths from Blue Charm, a 25-1 shot. Third was Call It A Day at 7-1 for Richard Dunwoody, and fourth Addington Boy, great run for him, for Adrian Maguire at 10-1. Feels Like Gold was a long shot, but he finished 5th, ran a good race, and so did Brave Highlander in the Alderneety colours to finish 6th. Kendall Cavalier was 7th, and last year's winner Earth Summit finished 8th. St Melian Fairway and Samley have both been placed in the past. They were 9th and 10th. And Northern Lad ran a great race for Jenny Pittman. That mistake at Beech's first time must have cost him. He finished 11th. General Wolfe was 12th. Sunny Bay, runner-up for the past 2 years, went clear again. He finished 13th. Backbar was 14th. Strong Chairman 15th. Merry People fell at the second last but remounted and still finished ahead of Avro Anson and Coombe Hill, who was last of the finishers. Well, where did your money go down? These were the fallers and the unseated riders. Double Thriller, that's a bit harsh on Joe Tizard. The horse crumpled on landing and he really had no chance. He went at the first. Baronet fell at the 4th, and at Beecher's Brook first time, Tamarindo fell and Mudahim unseated rider. At the 14th, Cavaliero was pulled up, and before the 17th, Commercial Artist pulled up as well. So was Cyborgo. And as they moved on to Beecher's Brook, second time, there really was an awful lot of trouble here. U-Deep was one of the fallers, I'm afraid, fatally for him. Fiddling the Facts also went down with Mick Fitzgerald. Fraser Island was a faller, so was Camelot Night, and Choice D and all that melee was brought down. Castle Coin unseated at Valentine's, and at Fence 26, Bell's Life was pulled up.